So here's a little tour of the features of this knife. Got that nice modified Scandi grind, that finish there. You've got jimping all the way around, right there for grip. Some red liners underneath the scales. The spine is beveled, makes it a little lighter. True full tank construction. All right, this thing weighs over 9 ounces, so it's got some nice weight to it. All right, it's got a large lanyard hole cut out right there. You see the depression there, and you see the depression here, which allows you to hold it in a modified saber grip. It also has a sharpening choil right there and an integrated guard, just enough. It's very pointed, and it has a lot of belly too if you need to use it for butchering tasks. So your CV Life knife will arrive in a box like this. Here are the official stats on the knife. The brand is CV Life. I'm calling it their Bushcraft knife. 5.2 inches blade length, 10 inches overall length, 4.7 millimeters thick, 9.7 ounces in weight. It is D2 steel. You see the hardness there. The price fluctuates between $20 to $27 on US Amazon. Here is the sheath that the knife came with. It's got eyelets there. It is a molded synthetic sheath. It holds it in securely and silently. It has a belt clip here. That's the sheath. There you go. Nice. Alright, so it's just good to know that a knife can take a little bit of rough treatment. In 30 seconds, we split a bunch of wood. You could split it further into kindling. A knife like this, for splitting, I use a much heavier, wider, longer knife, right? So this is only if for some reason you had to use this knife to do a little bit of splitting within reason. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely easily make some kindling. Here's a demonstration using the spine of this as a striker for a fire steel. You have to get it at just the right angle and just the right part of the spine. All right. This spine is beveled. And it's beveled and it's not actually sharp here. The only part that's sharp are the edges of the jimping right there. So you have to get it right there and at exactly the right angle. But as you saw, if you do all that, yes, it can make sparks. And so you could start some appropriate tinder on fire. All right, a little more carving. I just want to put some use on the blade. This is a piece of the firewood that we split with this. This is a little thick, but Yeah, we're just coming off like 3 days of rain where I couldn't get out there. Well, I could, but the camera doesn't like getting wet, but I could go out there. But yeah, so glad that's over. I'm going to chip carve some of the rest of this. So one of the benefits of this knife compared to my Mora knives is that this is significantly heavier, which is useful when you do this. All right, sorry for the background noise. All right, so this is chip carving. We're literally carving chips off because this is a thick piece of wood. It's just faster. Alright, so we're basically using this the way you would use a woodworking hatchet if you didn't, if you don't always carry a woodworking hatchet everywhere you go. Alright, so we chip carved the basic shape of a spike. So you see what we're doing? Now we finish it like this. And I usually carry sandpaper with me because it just weighs almost nothing, and I could finish it with the sandpaper if I wanted to make a really nice spike, but you get the basic idea. Cutting a few more materials. This is going to represent a seatbelt strap. I'll do a slicing cut. There you go. All right, here I have bike tire tubing. There you go. Here is the knife cutting through pieces of boxes. It's much thicker than a box cutter, but it's sharp enough it lasers through. The knife is currently available in 2 different colors. You have the olive drab and the tactical black. Okay, so final conclusions on this knife. What was it good at? It was very good at cutting through that rope. And I'm sure it would be good at cutting meat, right? Processing game, definitely. Yeah, like a butcher knife. It was okay at carving. It was very sharp. However, it gets thick quickly behind that edge. So if it was thinner, yeah, if it was thinner, it would carve faster and it would be a great box cutter, but that's not what it's supposed to be, right? This is supposed to be general purpose, kind of heavy duty outdoor knife, right? So it's an adequate trade-off for it to be thicker there. Splitting, notching, carving, processing game, cutting rope, cordage, all the things you would need to do. You can use it as a striker if you have to. So, bottom line, do I feel like this was worth the $20 that I paid? Absolutely. How could it not? Yes, it was definitely worth the $20 that I paid. How could it not? So would I recommend this to people just starting out? Well, yeah, absolutely. I think that's who it's for. That's who it's for. You're just starting out. You don't want to invest too much money, right? I mean, I'm going to be 52 in a few weeks, but we all got to start with, back in the day, I was like in the Cub Scouts and everything like that. And, my dad was in Vietnam. He knew a thing or two about knives and such, but yeah, you got to start somewhere. Should you start with something like this? The price is super reasonable, man. Super reasonable. So yeah. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like seeing sharp, pointy things in your feed, be sure to subscribe to me. This has been the We All Juggle Knives channel. I'm out.